ICE raids Hyundai battery plant in Georgia for 75 workers detained. U.S. immigration agents arrest hundreds at Hyundai Plant, mostly Koreans. Hundreds of workers at a Hyundai Motor 005380.ks opens new tab car battery facility under construction in Georgia were detained in a raid by U.S. authorities on Thursday, stopping work on a plant that is one of the Korean automaker's major investments in the U.S. About 475 workers, most of whom were South Korean nationals, were arrested. According to U.S. immigration officials, the largest single-site enforcement operation in the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's history. President Donald Trump's administration has been escalating a crackdown on immigrants, disrupting businesses around the country, even as the White House has encouraged more inflows from foreign investors. The arrests could exacerbate tensions between Washington and Seoul, a key ally and investor in the U.S. The countries have been at odds over the details of a trade deal that includes $350 billion of investments. At a summit last month, South Korea pledged $150 billion in U.S. investments, including $26 billion from Hyundai Motor. Homeland Security officials said the workers arrested at the Elabul, Georgia, site were barred from working in the U.S. after crossing the border illegally or overstaying visas. The investigation took place over several months. Stephen Schrank, special agent in charge of investigations for Georgia, said during a press briefing, "This was not an immigration operation where agents went into the premises, rounded up folks and put them on buses," he said. Schrank said there was a network of subcontractors on the site. A Hyundai Motor spokesperson said none of the people detained were employed directly by the automaker. The company said its chief manufacturing officer for North America, Chris Susak, would assume governance of the entire megasite in Georgia. "We will conduct an investigation to ensure all suppliers and their subcontractors comply with all laws and regulations. Hyundai has zero tolerance for those who don't follow the law," it said. The arrested workers were being held at ICE's Folkestone, Georgia, detention facility, Schrank said. Most of the 475 people are South Korean nationals, he said. Korean media has put the number of South Koreans detained at roughly 300 people. The raid, dubbed Operation Low Voltage, included more than 400 law enforcement officers after a months-long investigation. A spokesperson at Hyundai's battery joint venture partner, South Korean battery maker LG Energy Solutions, 373220.ks, opens new tab, said in a statement it was cooperating and had paused construction work. The facility, a joint venture between LGS and Hyundai Motor, was due to start operations at the end of this year, according to LGS. Hyundai Motor shares ended down 0.7% on Friday, and LGS shares dropped 2.3%. Largest development project. Under Trump, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, part DHS, has driven the Republican leaders' sweeping crackdown on migrants, bolstered by record funding and new latitude to conduct raids. Trump has said he wants to deport the worst of the worst criminals, but ICE figures have shown a rise in non-criminals being picked up. Rights advocates have denounced such raids. The White House said on Friday that any foreign workers brought in for specific projects must enter the United States legally and with proper work authorizations. South Korea's foreign ministry expressed regret and concern about the raid. The economic activities of our companies investing in the United States and the interests of our citizens must not be unduly violated during the course of U.S. law enforcement, ministry spokesperson Lee Jae-woong said in a statement on Friday. Social media video showed a man wearing a vest with the letters HIS, an acronym for Homeland Security Investigations, telling workers in yellow safety vests, "We have a search warrant for the whole site. We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now." The U.S. Department of Justice, in a statement, said several people tried to flee during the raid. Some had to be fished out of a sewage pond on the site, DOJ said. Georgia's Democratic Party condemned the raid, calling it part of politically motivated fear tactics designed to terrorize people who work hard for a living, power our economy, and contribute to communities across Georgia that they have made their homes. In a statement, a spokesman for Georgia Governor Brian Kemp said, "In Georgia, we will always enforce the law, including all state and federal immigration laws." Hyundai said its production of electric vehicles at the sprawling site was not affected, In 2023, Hyundai Motor and LG Energy announced the $4.3 billion venture to produce EV battery cells, with each company holding a 50% stake. The plant will supply batteries for Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis EV models. The battery factory is part of Hyundai's $12.6 billion investments in the state, including the automaker's just opened car factory, in what would be the largest economic development project. Opens new tab in the state's history. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
US immigration agents arrest hundreds at Hyundai plant, mostly Koreans. US authorities detained 475 workers, mostly South Korean nationals, at Hyundai's Georgia electric vehicle battery facility, marking the largest single-site immigration enforcement operation in a Homeland Security history. The arrested workers, subcontracted by third parties, were found to have entered the US illegally or overstayed visas. The raid caused Operation Low Voltage involved over 400 officers after a month of investigation. Hyundai clarified that none of the arrested individuals were directly employed by the automaker and reassured stakeholders that EV production remained unaffected. The joint venture with LG Energy Solution, a $4.3 billion project within Hyundai, a broader $12.6 billion investment in Georgia, is a key part of South Korea placed investment in the US. The raid has strained US-South Korea relations, with Seoul expressing regret and concern. Critics condemn the operation as a harsh and politically motivated. The incident reflects the Trump administration intensified immigration enforcement even as foreign investment are encouraged. Hyundai and LG are cooperating with the authorities while dividing conflicts.